Now, we have been on a roll talking about flashlights in the 18650 battery size. And today we got one more. I'm hoping this will be the icing on the cake. This will be the last major flashlight we do before we start to bring together all of this stuff and give you my best of the best. This is going to be the Wurkkos FC12. Now, this has been around for a little while. It is using a next generation emitter and is one of the most powerful flashlights that I've reviewed with this battery type, and yet is not a dedicated thrower. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that and doing some comparisons also to some other flashlights that I think are relevant. All right, so I'm going to blow through this review as quickly as I can. I'm going to try not to waste any of your time. So first of all, the quality in this flashlight is pretty good. You're going to get a solid 3 out of 5 stars, and that's not surprising because the brand Wurkkos is actually made by Sofirin, and they have been really doing a great job delivering a very, very high value product. This flashlight has a fantastic user interface. In fact, it is identical to the one we've already reviewed, which is the SC31T. Now, I'm going to kind of skip over that somewhat and not show every part of that user interface, but I will send a link to this review where we break down the user interface and it is identical to that one. And everything that I said about that is applied here. What I want to focus on mostly is the emitter and the output with this flashlight. It has almost identical run times to the SC31T. I'm going to put the whole spec sheet right here. And what's crazy about this flashlight is it still runs at 2000 lumens, identical to the other flashlight we're reviewing, but with 3 times the candela rating. Now, what does this actually mean? And let me show you an example. So if we go out and we take 3 different flashlights, we can actually do a quick comparison to kind of demonstrate what the effect of candela is. So in the first flashlight, you can see it's a nice diffuse light, but still very powerful at 2000 lumens. When you pick up the FC12 though, it's much more concentrated. You're getting a lot more light in a tight area, so you can reach a lot further. And this is done in extreme with the Olight Warrior X Turbo, which has 270,000 candela, and you can see is basically like a laser beam. What this means is that this flashlight is going to have quite a bit more reach than most others with the same battery type that aren't specifically designed to do this. This is a very narrow head, so it's going to fit into a whole bunch more organizers and slings. In fact, it even fits inside my Tail of Knives sheath, which is great. So it can do that, and flashlights that usually have the thrower heads, they can't. And yet this can reach out and touch something at over 350 meters, which is pretty damn impressive, to say the least. On top of that, it has a solid 3 out of 5 in versatility because of the fact that it has a reversible clip. And actually, this is light enough. I actually don't feel too bad about actually clipping this to my hat, although I think it's at the very top end of that spectrum. And the fact that you can access moonlight directly from the user interface, something that I mentioned when we talk about the SC31T, I just love that. So this gets a 4 out of 5 on user interface because of its access to both the highest output, or in this case, whatever is saved, and a moonlight mode directly from off is a huge bonus. It's exactly what I'm looking for. But where I think this kind of caps off is with the value of the flashlight. And we can sum this up really simply. This flashlight is coming in with the battery on their website under $30. On Amazon, you can get this flashlight for around $36. Now, I have a 20% coupon, and we'll give you guys as well coupon code you can use, but that gets to about the $30 range. $30 for a flashlight with this much power, a Type-C, a USB-C for charging port for charging up the flashlight when necessary, an IPX8 rating, waterproof rating, a good user interface, good finish. This is going to be, without a doubt, the second flashlight that I'm going to give the highly recommendable status symbol too. I think that even more so than the SC31T, I think that this light pretty much perfects the budget defensive light category. It has an emitter that does a much better job putting a large concentration of light in a specific area. And for those people who are interested in it, I think this is going to do a better job than most other flashlights. And that includes some that are quite a bit more expensive, such as the BSS V5, such as the Warrior Mini 2. This is actually a substantially brighter flashlight than both of these two, which is crazy. And that's not to say these are both not great flashlights, only that this is going to give you so much for that $30 price point. In addition, as I showed in the other video, you can do some really cool tricks because they are interchangeable with Sofrin flashlights in the same size range. And so I can take this small 18350 tube and I can actually, let me take this, I can actually screw all this in because it uses the exact same threading. And this will still have the exact same output, just have shorter run times. So now I have a very compact version of the exact same flashlight. And the output does not drop. It still has that ridiculous 2000 lumen output, just shorter runtime, but also a more compact size. I mean, they really have something here. I would have to say this has got to be one of the best values that you can find. 5 out of 5. Well done, Wurkkos. This is going to make most of my lists when it comes to the 18650. They don't really have anything missing. I could certainly give slight tweaks to the user interface, but it's good enough that honestly, for the price, I just don't see anything coming close, except maybe the other light from Sofrin. And Sofrin? I can never figure out the name. Maybe you guys can help me. But because it comes a little bit shorter, there might be someone who might prefer it. It does have a more diffuse beam. That also might be a preference thing. But yeah, it's really, really good. And not just that. Did I mention that both of these flashlights are interchangeable? So if you get both, you can mix and match as you see fit. Pretty cool, right? Definitely want to check these out. I'm going to be doing a roundup of my 10 most recommendable flashlights, and you better believe that the FC12 will be one of those 10. For sure. I want to thank all you guys for your time to come in and take a look at this very, very brief flashlight review of the Wurkkos FC12. There'll be a lot more in the future. You guys have a good one.